Yes guys, so this trade did not actually record properly, so it was super laggy, so I'm just going to go over the recap because I'm very frustrated. However, I still want to get a video out for you guys, so let's get straight into it. First off, coming into macro, I could see that we had, so it's Friday, NFP, we had news at 8:30 New York local time, so I've got data lows marked out at 23725. And then if we go on to the 4 hour, we can actually see, so ES was at all-time highs, NADAQ wasn't. NADAQ's all-time high is at 24067. Therefore, we have a high time frame bearish S&T. So I'm looking to my left of buy-side liquidity levels that have been swept because the London highs and Asia highs on the day have already been taken. And I can see right here at 2300 London time, so that would be Asia highs, that would be an old level of Asia session highs. So that would be my draw for the day, and we can see that's been swept. So that's a valid point of session liquidity of buy side being taken. Looking at the high time frame, my overall bias was bearish. The 5 minute was neutral. If we look at the 4 hour, it was actually trading out of a bullish gap and it had taken the 4 hour high. Therefore meaning that the draw for price could have been either way, meaning the 4 hours neutral. Looking at the 1 hour, it was trading out of a bearish gap and wasn't trading into any bullish confluences. Therefore the 1 hour was bearish. If we look at the 15 was trading out of a bullish gap and was trading out of a 15-minute bearish gap to the left of where those Asia highs were. Coming into macro, we had a bearish bias, so looking for shorts, and we can see prices ran up and swept this short-term high. So buy stops have now been swept. So I'm now looking for a displacement lower through the most recent short-term low. So let's see if we get it. So no market structure shift, ES had much shifted structure. No structure shift on NQ, so no trades here off this 1 minute bearish gap. So here you guys can see we've finally got a shift below this recent short-term low on NQ. We've got it on ES already, and it's tapped into this 1 minute bearish gap already. However, we didn't have a structure shift by the time we had already tapped in. So if the trader run without us, it's not a problem. But now that we got the shift, we then got a tap of this 1 minute bearish gap. So we're in for shorts. We got a stop at the high for 21 handles. TP at this first presented low that offered a 1 to 2, which was the original point where if it had got taken before, we would have had a bullish S&T, but it didn't. So it's valid to take shorts. So we're in for shorts, and our break-even point will be 50% from our entry point to our final TP. So it would be the first presented short-term low. There we go. So let's see how this trade plays out. So there we go. In 1 minute, we've already taken break-even, so we're risk-free there. And then right at this point, ES had actually taken final objective. So we were fully out there for around a 40 to 43 handle gain, depending on where you closed out. And there we go, we were done in 2 minutes. However, you can actually see that price ran back into this 1 minute bearish gap and took our final TP anyway. But we don't trade emotionally, we trade strategically, because what made sense in this moment, ES has taken final objective. So that meant we had a bullish S&T, meaning that trade is no longer valid and you need to get the hell out, because so many times this week, we've had 2 trades this week, which have been break even, and it's taken that first short-term low and it's ran back up. So if you've had ES taken final TP and you haven't taken gains and you got stopped at break even, whose fault is that? So you need to be making sure you're doing the strategic thing and what makes most sense, which in this point was closing out fully, because there's so many different scenarios that could have played out after, which could either increase your confidence or ruin your confidence. And even if it does play out when ES taken final objective, on another day ES will take final, you get stopped at break even, you're wondering what's going on, but really you're not trading strategically, you're trading emotionally. So you've got to follow the system 100%, which is what we've done here, and we secured gains on the week on a low probability day as it is NFP. And if you guys do want to watch me trade live each day, then link in the description to my WhatsApp. You'll be able to watch me trade live every day at New York Open, and we'll have one-to-one sessions every week, plus a group backtesting session to go over the week's trades. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed that breakdown, and I'll see you in the next one.